Believe it or not, we're about to unpack a 2,000-year-old guide to dealing with bad bosses. It all comes from this short, personal letter that proves one thing. The struggle with toxic leaders is definitely not a new problem. The real question is, who are you going to follow?
It's a fair question, right? How can something so ancient possibly speak to our work lives today? Well, as we're about to see, the dynamics of power, ego, and just plain old integrity, they haven't really changed all that much. And this letter, it's basically a masterclass in how to handle them.
Okay, so first things first, let's be clear, this isn't some official decree or a corporate memo. It's a deeply personal letter from a community leader who simply calls himself the Elder, and he's writing to a man he deeply respects, a guy named Gaius.
Now, I want you to notice how the elder begins this letter. He doesn't lead with the problem, he actually leads with praise. By calling Gaius well-beloved and celebrating his integrity, what he calls his walk in truth, he's building this foundation of mutual respect before he even thinks about tackling the difficult topic.
So, let's meet the hero of this story, Gaius. The elder presents him as the gold standard for good character, the positive example we're meant to focus on before we meet the villain.
And this isn't just some polite compliment. You can feel the profound, personal joy in these words. For the elder, the ultimate reward isn't power or status. It's seeing people he cares about act with integrity. Walking in truth.
But walking in truth isn't some vague mission statement. The letter gives very specific examples. For Gaius, it meant concrete actions, like helping colleagues and strangers alike, and supporting traveling team members on their journey. In our terms, he was a connector and a supporter, someone whose good character was proven by his actions, not just his words.
So, after setting up this ideal person, the letter takes a really sharp turn. The praise just stops, and the elder pivots to the real reason he's writing, a serious problem and the story's antagonist.
After all that warmth, the tone shifts completely. There's a serious problem in the community, and it needs to be addressed, head-on.
And here he is, our villain, Diotrephes. The elder defines him with one powerful trait. He loves to have the preeminence. In other words, he needs to be number one, the center of attention. His ego is the driving force, and it's causing him to reject the elder's authority. This is, the classic bad boss profile.
And his love of being first? Well, it leads to some seriously destructive behavior. He's not just ignoring people, he's actively working against the community's values. He's gossiping with malicious words, turning away outsiders, and even punishing people who try to do the right thing, casting them right out of the church. He's creating a culture of exclusion.
So now the stage is set. The elder lays out a crystal clear choice by directly comparing two types of leaders, forcing Gaius and us to see the huge difference between genuine influence and just raw power.
This contrast just lays it all out there. On the left, you've got Diotrephes, driven by ego, spreading negativity. But on the right, the elder presents the alternative. He holds up another man, Demetrius, as the model. Demetrius has a good report, a solid reputation, backed up by his actions. He represents leadership based on integrity, the complete opposite of the self-serving boss.
And it all boils down to this one direct command. After laying out the two paths, the elder makes his instruction incredibly simple. Don't imitate what is evil, imitate what is good. The choice is clear. Be a Demetrius, not a Diotrephes.
But the elder's advice isn't just about who to follow, it's also about how to lead. His plan for dealing with Diotrephes is just as important as his diagnosis of the problem. He's got a strategy, and it's not what you might expect.
And then he just stops himself. He says he has much more to write, but he won't do it with ink and pen. This is fascinating. He understands that a sensitive, high-stakes conflict can't be solved in a memo. Some things are simply too nuanced for the written word.
And here's his solution. Direct personal contact. He doesn't plan on sending another strongly worded letter or having others fight his battle. He's going to show up and speak with Gaius and confront Diotrephes face to face. He understands that real resolution requires a real conversation.
Which leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? In our world of emails and Slack messages and social media threads, where it's so easy to fire off a message about a problem, this 2,000-year-old wisdom feels more relevant than ever. It prompts the question, what have we lost and what risks do we run by trying to solve our most human problems without ever speaking face to face?